Yeah, now this is Attorney Della Welch doing volume 2 of what to do on the death of a loved one. And we were talking about things that are really separate from probate, such as life insurance policies, retirement benefits, property held in the trust, and the next one would be property held in joint tenancy. On the death of the first joint tenant, the property goes to the surviving joint tenant. Now, it's important to know whether the property is held in community property or in joint tenancy, because it's a different result. On joint tenancy, it passes to the surviving joint tenant. So what we need to do is to look and see if a small estate is proper in this case. I had an interesting situation. There was a family at church whose mother had died, and they went to see an attorney and they got a big fee request. But in looking at their estate, it fell within the affidavit of small estate. So they were able to fill out the affidavit, have it notarized, and to take it to the person who owned the particular personal property asset. You may have seen on television or on the web, oh, you've got to have a trust, you've got to have a trust. Well, a lot of people have assets that aren't even governed by a trust. They pass to the beneficiary, such as the joint tenancy property. However, in California, there's tax consequences of having property in a joint tenancy, and you need to place it in community property. You may want to see an attorney on that. Some other people you need to see, you may want to see an attorney about the trust provision, and then also you may want to see an accountant or a tax preparer to find out whether the tax return, the estate needs to file a final tax return for the person who passed away. You may want to see if they have an investment advisor, and the investment advisor helps collect the assets, so you know the assets. You need to go to the bank to find out what accounts they have, and also if they have a safe deposit box. And you need to find out from your bank the rules to open a safe deposit box. Also, you need to go contact the life insurance agency to get the claim forms. One thing that's important is if you do have insurance, some insurance companies require you to make a claim within 30 days. It's like the occurrence of a condition subsequent, and you have to make that claim within 30 days. So you need to check with each insurer. Now, you also need to contact the Social Security Administration. Sometimes you may be eligible for a widow's pension, or in my case, since I was employed, I think I got about $250 from Social Security on the death of my husband. And then I wasn't old enough at that time to get the widow's benefit. Also, be sure and contact the Veteran Affairs to see what payments are available for veterans, and also check any private policies that they may have. Now, what we need to do is to make sure you keep proper records of all of this to see if they have utility bills that need to be stopped, or mail that needs to be stopped. And you may have to watch the mail for about a year to find out about all of the bills and other type of benefits available. So for your elderly friends, you need to make sure that you know how they want their property to go and what to do. I have a lady who, when her husband died, her biggest worry was she didn't know how to do oil changes or pump up her tires or check the fluids in the car. So that was something that she had to get help from the neighbor. There's a lot of friends and neighbors that will provide help at this particular time. Now, there's a lot of material on the web that you can look at to find out what to do on the death of the loved one, and be sure and look for each state has their own rules, and you get the death certificate from the county. You want to order several copies of the death certificate from the county. Just realize that immediately upon the death, there's not a lot that absolutely has to be done, but you should be vigilant. I know a lady who, her husband's been dead for almost a year. She hasn't contacted Social Security or the veterans, so it's important to keep your records, keep your papers in order, let them know who you have a trust, who the successor trustee is, and there has to be an affidavit of successor trustee filled out to distribute the property after that time of the death. So these are a few ideas. I hope they're helpful to you. I like the book by Nolo, N-O-L-O. Nolo Press have some very good books on this subject that are very important. So there's a lot of materials written about how to avoid probate. Some people don't like probate because it's public in nature. A lot of movie stars, you can go through and read all about their will and so forth. But be sure you make an inventory of all the assets and make sure that you seek proper legal advice that can be helpful to you. Each county has a probate attorney, and attorneys often contact the county probate attorney to make sure the papers they submit are in compliance. There's also some paralegal services or typing services that might be helpful here. So hopefully these ideas will give you some help when you have to have that terrible event happen that you were the one that are going to have to carry the ball now and take care of all the family finances, when in the past you haven't had to do that. So this will be the end of our recording.